Hi, I want to share with you that I made some, I don't know if you want to call them oracle cards. I guess you can call them that, but there's only like 21 cards, and it's like they're just on these index cards. I just wrote down different animals and also other, like 4 other types of beings or people or mythical creatures, people that I identify with. And I don't know, it started off with like just, I don't know, about 5 days ago, just feeling connected in some way to, reflecting back on like all of the animals that I've identified with throughout my lifetime. And I wrote them all down, and then I had the idea, a couple days later, I had the idea that, you know what, I want to just write them down on index cards and sort of use them like oracle cards, I guess. Just sort of, just for me, it's just an exercise in like reflecting, like expressing and reflecting on the kind of energy that each of those animals brings, and like what they teach us, the symbolism of that. And so that's really what oracle cards are anyway, but there's only 21 of these. I only have 21 because those are the things I identify currently, where I have, throughout my life. These are ones that have shown up as like some of my animals and things that I identify with over the years. And yeah, so I'm just I don't know, I'm going to give you an example. Well, first of all, I'm going to read to you the list that I wrote. And there have been a couple of additions, like more recently, that have been added to this list. And I was just like, interesting that my list keeps growing of animals and mythical creatures and things like that. But anyway, so first of all, I was thinking of them as like my spirit animals, but I don't know. I just think that they have messages for me sometimes that I can learn from. So I have on my list, I have sea otter, octopus, mermaid, which falls not under animals. I don't consider that animal. I consider that like, mythical or fantasy. Big cats, tiger, lion, cheetah. But in my cards, I only did 21 cards, so I included tiger, but I did not include lion or cheetah, because I don't know that I really identify with those. It's mostly the tiger that I have identified with for a lot of my life. And then deer is more recent, and dragon, probably, yeah, more recent. Butterfly, hummingbird, dragonfly. Dragonfly, that's been for a really, really long time, like almost my whole life. And then frog, almost my whole life. And then axolotl is a new one for me. Dog, pretty much my whole life. Pig and monkey, my whole life. Dolphin, most of my life. Peacock, eagle, dove, jellyfish, and then I also have this one may seem funny, or this next two may seem kind of funny. They're not animals, okay? Witch, that's been most of my life. I always thought of myself as that little, you know, on Bewitched, the little girl, her Samantha's daughter, Tabitha, and she does the nose thing. I was always trying to do that, always trying to do magic and do the nose thing, you know, ding ding ding. And yeah, anyway, I always identified with that kind of a innocent witch, right? Like, and then mermaid is actually in the past they considered mermaids water witches. And I thought that was interesting, because it's called Merwith. A Merwith means water witch, and I just thought that was really funny because I've always kind of felt like that. And then the last one that I identify with is Jesus. and who would put mermaids, witches, and what was the other thing? Gosh, I can't think of what the other thing was. Well, anyway, maybe it was just the three different. Oh no, the other mythical thing was like the dragon. Okay, yeah. Okay, so who would put those things? And I'm not saying Jesus is mythical. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I'm putting like those in a different category because I don't consider them like real animals, and some of them aren't animals. Okay, so yeah, obviously Jesus and witches aren't animals. Mermaids are kind of half man, half animal. I don't know. Anyway, but they're also could be considered fantasy. So anyway, my whole point is, like, these are the things that I have identified with, you know, like over the years, and still some of them I do. And so I made these cards so that I could, you know, have fun, just kind of, you know, playing with these, you know, like pulling a few cards, and then based on those cards coming up with like, what message is it that those cards are telling me? And that's basically, you know, I've said this before, it's me getting into my subconscious, and it's like a writing prompt, and it's just a good exercise to connect on a deeper level with maybe what I believe and what I'm feeling. So I'm gonna give you the two readings that I did the last 2 days. So yesterday was the first day that I used the cards, and it was really fun. And what I said when I pulled these cards is the things that I wrote down here are the things that, the messages that each of those cards, the message that I was getting from them. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'm sharing this, maybe it will help one of you, and also like, I guess part of the point I want to make is that you can make up your own rules, like oracle cards and things like that, tarot cards and all of that, and just any of the other like practices and things that you do to enter into your subconscious or to bring out things to help you to just process or investigate, explore, you know, like there's no rules, like I don't even really want to call this oracle cards, because, you know, oracle cards are a certain number of cards, and mine are just 21 because those are the ones I identify with, and so I just felt drawn to the idea that I just need to put those, I just need to put them on cards so that I can use them the way I want to use them, and yeah, explore things that way. So I don't know what to call this. They're just, it's just exploring. Okay. In much the same way you would if you went outside and explored nature, and you learn in it by investigating and observing the animals, and, you know, and finding what are the patterns, what's the energy, what am I relating, what can I relate to? Okay, same kind of thing. All right, so I pulled 3 cards yesterday. The first one was dolphin, the second one was sea otter, and the third one was dove. Okay, so the first one, what I got from dolphin was, be playful and lighthearted. Be clever. Protect your pod. Showcase yourself and what you can do. Help others when you can and when it's safe and when you are inspired to help. So all those things like reminded me, that was all what reminded me of dolphins. You know, they are playful, they are lighthearted, they're very smart, they're clever, they do protect each other in their pods, and they're show-offs. They show us all the time what they can do. They do these magnificent little jumps, twirls out of the water, and like even in the wild they do things like that. You know, what we see in like the aquatic parks and things where they're in captivity, which I don't agree with, but that's not, we're not talking about that right now. But okay, you know, those are just extensions of their natural behaviors, and but anyway, they are free, and they do all kinds of really cool things that we consider, like, we see them do it and we just think, wow, that's amazing, right? And I don't know if they think that what they do is amazing, but they bring so much joy by putting on, you know, by doing what is natural to them. You know, they bring joy to themselves, and they bring joy to those that are observing them. And we do the same thing when we showcase what we can do and what brings us joy. It helps others to feel that joy, and then, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and then like I said, help others when you can and when it's safe and you are inspired to help. And I think that dolphins do that. They do often help sometimes other animals, sometimes people, and I think they are inspired when they're doing that. I don't think they do it every time, because I think if it's I don't know. I don't really know what the parameters are for like when they help and when they don't help, but the message to me is for me to be like the dolphin and to help others, but with knowing when it's safe for me to do that, and also when it's in alignment, when I'm inspired to do it. Okay, on to sea otter. You know what? I want to show you. I have, no, never mind. Forget it. It's too, I can't reach it. Never mind. I'm going to show it. Okay, rest and digest. That's what sea otters do. Conserve your energy and resources for the most important things. Okay, and in parentheses, okay to enjoy a little playtime. Balance is key. And that's exactly what I've learned from sea otters, is that, especially the mommy sea otters, that they do spend much of their time resting and digesting, and most other part of their time, well, the rest and digest, the resting part is to conserve their energy for when the times that they have to go and hunt and, go foraging and get the food and everything, because they're in treacherous waters, and there's predators, and there's so much that they have to do to keep themselves able, to have enough energy to do everything. So rest and digest, conserve your energy and resources for the most important things. It's okay to enjoy a little playtime, which they do, but probably not as much playtime as a dolphin or some other animals. Sea otters have to really find the balance, because their species is like very, very much, they expend so much energy just trying to stay warm, because they don't have blubber. They have really thick coats of fur with very, very fine hairs, like, I forget how many per square inch, but it's amazing. Like, they have so much. That keeps them warm, and they don't, if they need to get warm, they try to dry themselves off and fluff up the fur. Mommies are always constantly fluffing up the fur of their pups to keep them warm. Okay. Okay, the next one is dove. This one to me suggested to me divine protection, peace, renewal, hope. Trust you will find a place to land. And this is going back to like the dove in the story of Noah's Ark, okay? You will find a new earth, a new beginning. The olive branch, Noah's Ark. Okay, that's what that was reminding me of. Always being protected. So our house is full of doves on our roof. We have a really big oak tree. It's probably one of the biggest trees around our house, and we have a 2-story house, and there's some other houses next to ours that, I don't know, I think they like our house because we have solar panels, and we don't have like those things to guard them from building nests up there, which probably would be a good thing to put, but I don't know. I can look at it in this way, because I do feel protected. I feel like we have all these doves, and every time I can hear, when I'm upstairs, I can often hear them cooing, and it's just peaceful, and it does make me feel, it does give me that sense of protection, that I'm being watched over, kind of thing. They do make a mess up there, which we found out when we had some rain gutter work done recently, and is like, oh my gosh, what a mess up there, right? But I do feel like in some way they are watching over us, or reminding us that we are being watched over. And yeah, maybe we'll eventually fix the situation where, because they like to use our house because they can build their nests over here, but also they go from our house to that big tree out there, and yeah. Anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's just the way it is. But okay, so that was my first reading yesterday, and then today I pulled 3 more cards, and the cards that I pulled today were jellyfish, sea otter again, and deer, even though I shuffled them, right? But there's only 21 cards, so you do the math, you do the probability on that if you want. I'm not gonna do it. I don't feel like doing that right now, but okay, so jellyfish. First one was jellyfish, and the message that I was getting was no resistance. Float with the current, not against it. Stay calm, move with grace. Just be. Nothing to prove. No hunting for anything. So like no seeking outside of myself. No hunting, going hunting and expending lots of energy, right? Jellyfish, they float. They ride the current. They float with the current. They draw everything to them. Okay, so like no hunting for anything. What you need will be provided as you float and flow along. You will draw it into you like the jellyfish draws in food from her long-reaching, are those called tentacles? I have to look that up. I can't remember if they're also called tentacles, but the long zappy things, you know, that they're prey, well, I don't, can you call it prey? But yeah, the food, whatever it is that comes into contact with those zappy tentacles or whatever it's called, they draw the food up like that. Those are long away from their mouth, right? And they don't go hunting. I don't think they hunt. I don't know, maybe they do, but I just don't think they do. I think it's kind of as they're going along, something gets, you know, it's almost like how spiders do, you know, their webs, and they rest and wait, and then something comes in their web, and then they do what they need to do. I think jellyfish are kind of like that too, where they're going along floating in their life, and food comes to them. They don't go out and hunt for it. It comes to them, you know, all that they need comes to them, and so then it gets stuck on it gets zapped or stuck or whatever, and then they draw that, I think they draw it up to their mouth or something, you know. But so the idea is that we don't have to work so hard for everything. Like, we can just rest and digest like the sea otter and like the jellyfish, float along, be in the flow of life, and let things come to us, and don't be so resistant, and so just be content, calm, vibrate in love, go with the flow, and trust that everything will be provided. And honestly, I think that's what Jesus was trying to teach about how the birds get fed, and they, you know, like where the lily of the field, the lilies of the field, okay, and the birds and the animals and all that, they get provided for. They may have to do a little bit. They have to do their part, but it's like, and maybe birds are not the best example because they do actually do a lot of work, but I think the idea that that his teachings were trying to say is that we'll be provided for, and that we don't need to work as hard as we've convinced ourselves. That we need to trust that everything will come to us. Everything that we will take inspired action towards the things that we need to do, but all the rest of the time, we don't need to be grinding and work so hard to have, sustenance. And I think that's what Jesus's message was. Okay, trust that everything will be provided for you, and it may require you to do a little bit, but it will be, like I said, it will be inspired. You will know what you need to do. Okay. The last one was deer, and it's funny that Jesus got in there too, but because I didn't pull the Jesus card, but I don't know. Jesus is always he's always a symbol for me, and no matter whether you're religious or not, like, I don't know, he's just been a really, really good symbol for me throughout my life. And yeah. Okay, back to the reading. Deer. That's the last one. Deer. So, be sensitive and intuitive, not fearful. Alert, aware, decisive, gentle, and graceful with yourself and with others. And I really feel that. I feel like these messages that I just got from these cards today are definitely messages that are helping me, and it helps me to reinforce the things that resonate with me and that feel like my truth. And yeah, so I don't know, you don't have to make cards or anything, but like when you go out, or even when you're at home, or when you're experiencing something, try to see what symbols that you can find in the world around you, because that's how the universe speaks to us. That's how God gives us messages, is through symbols. So try to look for the symbols, and you don't even have to like actively like be looking for them, but be open. Just be open to the messages, because they're there. They're always there. It's always available for you to tap into, to connect, and to have greater meaning and purpose in your life, and to receive the messages that are trying to get to you. So yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. You know what, let me pull, I'm not going to put those 3 cards back in, but let me do one. I'll do one card, okay? For you. Okay. Okay. Maybe this is a message that somebody watching needs to hear right now, and I'll just be the person to deliver. Mermaid. Of course, mermaid. There's always mermaids in my life, right? Okay, so maybe someone watching needs the message of a mermaid. Let me think. What is a mermaid like? A mermaid is part of two different worlds. She straddles what you would call the human world and the underwater world. You know, the land and the sea. She straddles those two different worlds, and maybe right now some of us are feeling like we're between worlds, and that we are trying to find either our freedom, like to swim in the ocean and just be free, or maybe we are trying to feel more grounded and, you know, like even the Little Mermaid, you know, trying to figure out, how do these legs work? How do these land legs work? These human legs, you know, because I've been over here swimming in the ocean for so long, and now I'm out, and I have legs, and I've got to figure out how to use them. Or maybe you could think of it the opposite way, where this person is on land and doesn't realize that she is actually a mermaid that can swim in the ocean with a fin. Okay. Yeah, so could be that. And so, but she's still trying to bridge the gap between two worlds where she can do both things. And so maybe there's something in your life right now where you feel like there are two things happening, you know, and you feel like those two things are separate, and you want them to come together to be so it can feel like a more full experience, and so that you can bridge that gap that you're feeling somewhere in your life where it feels two things, you know, that you want to come together, but they just feel separate and disconnected right now. Maybe you're feeling that. But another thing, mermaids, they have healing powers with their voice, and, you know, they're singing, and they're using their voice, using their throat chakra. Okay, maybe the message is for you to open up, and you don't necessarily have to sing, but you can, but open up and use your throat chakra so that you can express yourself in a more free, authentic way, because there may be some healing that comes to you or comes to others when you do that. I think it's both, because when we each speak our truth, that we give ourselves permission to live our truth, and then at the same time, we are giving others permission to do the same. And so it empowers all of us. So maybe there's things that you are not speaking up about that you feel deeply within you, that you're not honoring your personal truth, and maybe there's things that you need to express and you need to say, because it is your truth, and you need to stand up for that truth, and that it will be healing for you to do that. I know for me it has been. Trying to think if there's anything else about the mermaid that I could share with you. I think we often associate them with beauty and with they're mysterious and they're beautiful, and I think each of us has some, we're each so beautiful in our own individual ways, and I think sometimes we cover that up. We don't allow others to see that, and so I do think that the mermaid suggests to not hide that beauty, but to look at yourself in the mirror, to brush your hair, to like, I'm not saying you need to brush your hair, I'm just saying, like, I'm envisioning, how the mermaids, we think of them as, oh, they're just like doing their hair and, looking at themselves in the mirror and all that, and they recognize their own beauty, and others recognize their beauty, but I do think, so I'm suggesting that maybe there's an element of self-love. Maybe you need to be a mermaid and you need to embrace your beauty and learn how to love yourself. And I don't think the mermaids do that for others. I think they do it for themselves. And but I think that's where the beauty comes, is like when someone feels beautiful to themselves, then others can start to see their beauty too. So, and I know that you are like that. So anyway, I don't know, I hope these messages help somebody, but yeah. This was fun for me. All right, well, I lost my aquarium. I like using the Roku app, and I like when it goes to like the screensaver kind of mode, because it has the aquarium on it, and it's always relaxing and fun for me. All right, well, this is almost 40 minutes, so I'm gonna stop. But I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.